Do not skip. This message isn't for everyone. It's for you. You didn't stumble here. You were summoned. Heaven scheduled this minute with your name on it, and I am arresting your scroll to interrupt the cycle that has been draining you. Hear me. There is money waiting with your name on it, assigned, not imagined, appointed, not accidental, covenant marked, not crowdsourced. It wasn't an algorithm, it was an appointment. I intercepted your scroll because I am intercepting your spiral. You've been looping, work, worry, repeat, apply, hope, wait, doors that tease, doors that slam, and you assumed another search would fix it. But God isn't telling you to look for another job. He's telling you to stop chasing what He didn't authorize. He's saying stop running at doors I already sealed. I close what would pay you in stress and steal you in silence. I shut what would hire your hands and fire your soul. Listen closely. Your job is a channel, not the fountain. Heaven is not a business, it's a kingdom. In this kingdom, what carries your name doesn't need permission from a hiring manager to reach you. Your provision is not theoretical. It is tracked, counted, released on timing. Heaven's logistics have mapped your route, but you've been running in detours built by fear. I'm not here to sprinkle comfort over chaos. I'm here to reorder your steps under covenant. Why are you here now? Because I am cutting through the noise with one sentence that redefines your next season. I am your source. When you know the source, you stop begging the system. When you trust the covenant, delays turn from shame into strategy. The very fact you're hearing this is proof you're on heaven's calendar. I am marking you with instruction, not with panic. I am pulling you out of interviews with insecurity and seating you in a conversation with promise. So stay. Don't click away. Don't numb out. Don't postpone your own rescue. There is an activation step embedded in what you're about to hear, a simple alignment that turns your mouth into a key and your posture into a magnet. Assigned provision locates aligned people. If you will keep listening, I will show you how to stop chasing and start receiving, how to step out of the maze of man-made metrics and stand under the open heaven of covenant. I need you present, heart open, shoulders unclenched. Breathe. This is not a video to consume. It's a word to enter. Hear me. I am not asking you to hustle harder. I am asking you to hear and obey. I found you because what I sent for you is already in motion. Agree with me and it will find you. Stay and I will tell you exactly what to do. You're tired of the cycle. I see you adjusting your resume at midnight, rewriting the same bullet points to sound like a different person. I see you walking into interviews rehearsing courage and walking out carrying silence, ghosted. Almost offers that drag hope to the edge and drop it. The humiliating waiting, the email refresh, the phone turned face down because you can't bear to watch your heart pace the room again. You've been told, we loved you, but not this time. You've spent gas money to sit in lobbies where your name never gets called. You've practiced smiling at rejection so long it feels like your face doesn't know how to rest. And you thought the answer was, apply harder. But hear me, I'm not trying to exhaust you. I'm trying to extract you. He's saying, stop chasing doors I already closed. I did not close them to starve you. I closed them to spare you. What felt like delay was protection. What felt like denial was redirection. I refused to fund what would drain you. I would not sign a payroll for your bondage. I would not co-sign a schedule that hired your hands and fired your soul. I shut the opportunity that looked like relief but was quietly a leash. I let the interview go silent because the noise behind that offer would have drowned your assignment. Stop calling it failure, call it Father. You've been treating earthly systems like they own your future, resumes, bosses, hiring cycles, budget approvals, background checks. Those are tools. They are not thrones. Heaven's timing is not at the mercy of a quarter's projections. My authorization is not a committee vote. What if the no saved you from being mispriced? What if the wait kept you from inheriting someone else's panic? What if the closed door was a firewall around your calling? You are not behind. You are being aligned. Their calendar is not your covenant. My timing outranks their timeline, and my favor is not seasonal. Here is the correction. Your job is a channel, not the fountain. The fountain is me. Stop asking a pipe to be a well. When the fountain flows, any pipe can carry water. When a pipe cracks, the fountain simply routes another way. Don't chase the pipe. Stand under the fountain. When you make a job your source, rejection feels like starvation. When you make me your source, rejection turns into redirection. That's not luck. That's law, kingdom law. Heaven is not a business, it's a kingdom. In this kingdom, what carries your name doesn't need their permission to reach you. It needs your alignment. Breathe. Drop the shame of doors that didn't open. Release the story that says you were not enough. Say this out loud with me now. The closed doors protected me. I will not chase what God has sealed. My job is not my source. God is. Write it, speak it, let it settle in your bones. You will stop begging systems and start obeying instructions. And as you align, the money already assigned will locate you, because I refuse to fund your draining. I will fund your destiny. Now, hear me. Your job is not your source. Heaven's economy has a different payroll system. The system pays you by hours. The kingdom pays you by covenant. The system measures worth by titles. The kingdom measures trust by obedience. The system cuts checks. The kingdom releases supply. Paycheck versus provision. Employer versus owner. Salary versus supply. A W-2 is paperwork. My word is the well. When I am your source, what you receive is not fragile. It is governed by covenant. You don't live at the mercy of a manager's mood. You live under the mercy of a faithful God. This is where the hidden bondage has been hiding. You let your peace clock in and clock out with someone else's calendar. Your hope rises on email pings and falls on unread messages. Your worship is steady until performance review week. Your courage is loud until the budget committee whispers, "That is not provision, that is probation." I did not adopt you into a relationship where one memo could evict your future. I called you into a kingdom where obedience anchors you and peace becomes your currency. I'm moving you now from labor identity to heir identity. Labor identity says, I am what I do. Heir identity says, I carry what he promised. Labor identity chases. Heir identity attracts. Labor identity begs for a seat. Heir identity knows the table bears their name. Sons don't interview for their father's approval. They inherit it. Kings don't panic their way into doors. They obey their way into appointments. Hear me, not hustle, alignment, not panic, obedience, not striving, trust. Do what I tell you and the money will come. That's not hype, that's how heaven pays. In the system, the question is, who hired me? In the kingdom, the question is, who sent me? In the system, you're managed by schedules. In the kingdom, you're governed by seasons. The system offers wages with strings of anxiety. The kingdom offers supply with cords of loving kindness. The system needs your grind. The kingdom needs your yes. When you anchor in me, rejection can't starve you and delay can't define you, because covenant outruns calendars. Starting today, something is about to shift, because you're about to stop treating a job like a god. You will honor work, but worship me. You will receive checks, but rely on covenant. You will see salary as a channel, not the fountain. You will stop praying to Fridays and start agreeing with forever. Say it with me right now. My source is God. Provision is my covenant. I refuse the probation of anxiety. I receive the payroll of heaven. This is your pivot. Stand under the fountain and let me root the pipes. If one channel narrows, another opens, because supply follows assignment. Align your mouth with my word and your steps with my instruction, and watch fragility fall off your finances. I am breaking the yoke of human approval from your money story. Peace will not wait for a deposit to appear. Peace will lead deposits to you. You are not a beggar in this economy. You are my heir. And in my house, provision does not wobble with markets. It moves by mandate. Listen, the problem isn't money, it's misalignment. You've been staring at an empty fridge like it's a verdict. You've been watching overdraft alerts hit your phone like punches to the ribs. Bills stacked like bricks on the table. Lights on, but your soul dim. Sleepless nights counting what you don't have while your children sleep in the next room, depending on a strength you secretly feel is evaporating. You've called it lack. I call it a flashing indicator, not punishment, posture, not forgetting, realignment. He's saying, I know you're tired, but I'm not punishing you. I'm repositioning you. You've been in a loop. Work, worry, repeat. Apply, beg, repeat. Grind, fear, repeat. Panic at sunrise, perform by noon, collapse by midnight. And when nothing moved, you doubled down on the same tools. More resumes, more late-night searches, more bargaining in your head with managers who haven't even met you. You brought human strength to a spiritual assignment and then wondered why your arms feel like lead. You're not failing, you're fighting with the wrong weapons. Hear me clearly. Heaven doesn't fund anxiety, it funds obedience. Anxiety is not a business plan. Panic is not a spiritual currency. Fear is an overdraft fee that keeps taxing your peace. You are trying to purchase breakthrough with worry, and my economy won't accept it. I refuse to bankroll what keeps you bound. I will not underwrite the lie that says your safety depends on your speed. I love you too much to sponsor your spiral. Your struggle is not proof you're forgotten. It's proof you've been trying to solve a spiritual matter with human tools. You keep thinking, if I just do more, send more, try harder, but doing more of what isn't aligned never produces different fruit. You've been watering concrete and wondering why nothing grows. The soil is wrong. The posture is wrong. Your heart has been bent toward survival when I've been calling you into covenant. You've been asking the system to validate what I already promised. So I am confronting and I am comforting. The closed doors were mercy. The delay was a directional sign. The tightness in your chest every time you check your balance, that is not me. That is the alarm of misalignment. Breathe. You are not late. You are being led. What you need is not a better hustle, but a clearer yes. One instruction can outrun 10 years of striving. One aligned step can do what 10,000 frantic clicks never will. Stop bringing me your panic like it's an offering. Bring me your obedience. Lay down the compulsion to fix it by force and lift up the courage to follow by faith. I am about to hand you a simple directive that will cut through this storm. When you obey, the money already assigned to your name will find you, not because you pushed harder, but because you finally stood where I told you to stand. Alignment is your doorway. Obedience is the key. Hear me. One instruction can outrun 10 years of striving. Faith produces what effort cannot. Obedience opens what ambition never will. You have been sprinting in circles, wearing holes in your shoes and your soul, and I am handing you a key that does not require more speed, only a yes. The shortcut is not a hack. It is holiness, not trickery, trust, not loopholes, lordship. When you obey, time collapses, detours close, and what was one day steps into now. And hear this correction with love. When I told you, stop looking for a job, I was not inviting laziness. I was rescuing you from worship. The system had your knees. Your browser was an altar. Your worth rose and fell on replies from people who do not hold your covenant. I am not telling you to reject work. I'm telling you to reject idolatry. Honor labor, but do not bow to it. Receive checks, but refuse chains. Stop looking does not mean do nothing. It means do the one thing I am saying. It means withdraw your heart from Pharaoh and give me your yes. Here is the pivot that unlocks the path. Don't chase. Position. Position is not passivity. It is precision. It is you standing exactly where I told you to stand. Spirit steady, ear open, steps simple. It is you refusing desperation's errands. It is you trimming noise so you can hear instruction. Position looks like peace on purpose. It looks like letting my word outrank your calendar. It looks like taking the next faithful step without dressing it in performance. What does obedience look like practically? Listen, simplify. Follow the next instruction. Release the desperation moves. Get quiet before me and ask, what is the next thing? Write what you hear and do that, only that, today. If I highlight a phone call, make the call. If I point to an unfinished assignment, finish it. If I say, send the invoice, send it. If I nudge, clean your space, clear it. Order attracts order. If I say, return what you borrowed, return it. Integrity unclogs provision. If I whisper, sow encouragement into that person, sow it. Generosity primes harvest. If I say, stop replying to pressure disguised as opportunity, stop. Alignment often looks small on the outside and seismic in the spirit. One step you obey today can do more than 100 scattered attempts you launch in fear. Understand this law of my house. Alignment accelerates provision. When you refuse to be driven and choose to be led, angels are authorized, routes are rerouted, hearts are softened, channels open. That's why your frantic applications felt like throwing seeds on concrete, wrong ground. But when you stand where I speak, your seed meets soil. Your yes becomes a magnet. Your peace turns into a signal that tells assigned resources. Here, I am about to show you that I have always paid my people differently when they aligned. Nets filled after empty nights. Ravens fed prophets in drought. Manna found a nation with no farms. Oil multiplied in a widow's jar. I do not need your system to feed you. I need your obedience to position you. Hold this posture. Don't chase, position, and watch how quickly what carries your name begins to find you. Let me show you how I pay when you align. Peter worked the system all night. Skills, sweat, experience, nets down, nets up, nothing to show but fatigue and wet rope. Then I stepped into his boat and gave one instruction. Launch into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. Same lake, same nets, same fisherman, different word. He obeyed, and the water that refused him all night suddenly yielded more than he could carry. Nets breaking, boats sinking, partners called to help. What did he change? Not the lake, not the tool. He changed his alignment to a word. One instruction outran hours of striving. That's what I'm telling you. I don't need the market to warm up to you. I need you to move at my command. When I speak, resistance becomes release. Empty turns into overflow. Elijah, famine in the land. No crops, no paychecks, no logical pipeline. I sent him to a brook called Cherith and said, I have commanded the ravens to feed you there. Do you hear me? I activated heaven's logistics department. I scheduled winged couriers, unclean birds by your rules, perfect carriers by mine, to deliver bread and meat morning and evening, location-specific provision, not everywhere, there, not someday, daily. He didn't hustle. He obeyed a GPS dropped from heaven, and the supply kept its appointment because the prophet kept his position. I can route resources through channels that make no sense to your system. I can put your name on the beak of a raven and the bank will call you blessed. Israel in the wilderness, no farms, no harvest cycles, no hiring managers to impress. I rained bread, manna morning by morning, measured to need, not to greed. If they hoarded, it rotted. If they gathered as instructed, they ate in peace. Obedience governed the intake. Do you see it? Their survival did not bow to an employer's permission. It bowed to my instruction. Rise, gather, rest on the seventh. Heaven's economy funds trust with daily supply, not panic, not hoarding, trust. A widow in debt, creditors at the door, despair in her voice. Elisha asked, "What do you have in your house?" She whispered, "Nothing, except a little oil." I gave the strategy: borrow vessels, not a few, shut the door, pour. That's alignment, that's precision. Scarcity mind says, I don't have enough. Covenant action says, use what you have exactly as I say. She poured until the vessels dictated the flow. When the jars ended, the oil stopped. Then came the instruction: sell the oil, pay the debt, live on the rest. I multiplied what she had at home, not what she wished she had at work. I didn't need a promotion. I needed her, yes. Hear me now. I can put coins in a fish's mouth and checks in a mailbox you didn't expect. I can attach your name to a contract you didn't chase and an idea you already stewarded. I don't need your economy to feed you. I need your obedience to position you. If I filled nets on the same water that mocked you by night, I can fill your life where you were emptied. If I can schedule ravens, I can schedule transfers. If I rained manna, I can release daily provision without compromise. If I stretched oil in a hidden room, I can multiply what's in your house. If I did it then, I can do it now, and I'm saying I will. Align with my word, and assigned money will locate you. You have seen how I pay when you align. Now I place the next key in your mouth. Your mouth is the steering wheel of your miracle. Words create worlds. This is not superstition. This is spiritual law. Your declaration is not a chant. It's a covenant. In my economy, alignment is often expressed first through what you dare to declare. Before the transfer moves, your tongue moves. Before the doors open, your mouth opens. Heaven hears voice prints. When your mouth agrees with my word, coordinates lock, roots release, and what has your name starts moving toward you. Listen to me. Panic has a vocabulary, and so does promise. Lack talks like this: I never have enough. Nothing works for me. I'm always behind. Covenant talks like this: the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I am supplied according to his riches. Favor surrounds me. One keeps you rented to fear. The other seats you in inheritance. You have been narrating your captivity and wondering why the prison feels tighter. Stop rehearsing the news of lack. Start reporting the law of covenant. Not denial, dominion. Not pretending, positioning. Your mouth is not a thermometer repeating the temperature of trouble. It is a thermostat setting the climate of faith. It is written. That phrase is executable authority. I used it in the wilderness not as poetry but as power. It is written is a key phrase that runs the code of heaven. Scripture is not just ink on paper, it is a sword and a system. When you say, it is written, you are not making something up. You are enforcing what I already decreed. Angels excel in strength and hearken to the voice of my word. When you put my word in your mouth, you give them orders they recognize. Your breath carries my decree into your atmosphere like a dispatch. You are not trying to convince me. You are commanding chaos to comply with covenant. Hear this correction. Declarations are not you closing your eyes to bills and calling it faith. Declarations are you opening your mouth to truth and calling your life into order. This is not performance language. This is alignment language. When you speak covenant, you are not begging the system to be nicer. You are reminding your soul whose payroll you're on. You are evicting shame. You are retraining your inner ear. You are telling your fear, you don't get the microphone anymore. Say it now. My mouth agrees with God. I do not confess lack, I confess covenant. I don't echo panic, I enforce promise. Provision responds to alignment, and alignment often starts in the mouth. Your feet will follow what your tongue leads. If you keep saying, I'm stuck, you will stand still. If you dare to declare, it is written, I shall not lack, you authorize forward motion. That is why I am about to be incredibly specific with you. I am going to give you the exact words to say, and the timing matters. Morning and night, a set confession drawn from what is written. Scripture as your sword, your code, your daily key. When you do it, your atmosphere will start to agree with heaven. Your heart will steady, and assigned money will read your signal and locate you. Prepare your mouth. Your miracle is about to take the wheel. For the next 3 days, don't negotiate, obey. Morning and night, set an appointment with me. Not scrolling, not rushing, not bargaining. An appointment. I am giving you words that move resources. I am handing you a key that turns locks you could not pick with a decade of striving. Do exactly this. Morning and night. Speak what is written until your atmosphere agrees with heaven, not a vibe, a verdict, not superstition, scripture. Here is the practice. Find a quiet place. Sit with your feet planted and your shoulders down. Hand over your heart. Take a deep breath in, slow, and let it out. Picture peace filling your home like warm light. See the stack of bills handled, stamped paid, not by pressure but by providence. Feel shame lift off your back like a coat you refuse to wear another day. Now open your mouth and run the code. Say, it is written, the young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Psalm 34:10. Now make it yours. I seek the Lord. I will not lack any good thing. My house will not lack any good thing. My assignment will not lack any good thing. Then say, it is written, I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Psalm 37:25. Make it yours. In Christ I am the righteous. I am not forsaken. My seed will not beg for bread. My family will not bow to fear. Provision is locating us now. Repeat the refrain until your chest loosens. I will not lack. I will not panic. I will obey. Again, I will not lack. I will not panic. I will obey. Let your room hear it. Let your soul hear it. Let hell hear it. You are not asking me to do what I've refused. You are agreeing with what I've promised. Why 3 days? Because I teach you in patterns. On the 3rd day, what looked dead begins to move. On the 3rd day, hope stands up and walks out of tombs. This is not magic, it is memorial. 3 days of consecrated mouthwork resurrects your expectation and resets your atmosphere. Faith comes by hearing, and for 3 days your ears will feast on covenant instead of panic. Be precise. Set alarms labeled Heaven's Payroll. Morning, before messages, before metrics. Breathe, declare, personalize. Night, before worry rehearses its lines. Breathe, declare, personalize. Write the verses on paper and put them where anxiety usually speaks. The mirror, the fridge, the lock screen. If fear interrupts, counter with the code. It is written. If numbers mock you, answer with the law. Those who seek the Lord shall not lack. If memories of failure try to narrate, speak the testimony. I have not seen the righteous forsaken. For 3 days, do not add your edits. Don't negotiate. Obey. Speak what is written until your atmosphere agrees with heaven. Angels are listening for orders they recognize. Assigned money is reading the signal of alignment. Open your mouth and set the coordinates. Say it once more with all of you. I will not lack. I will not panic. I will obey. And watch what I do next. Position, don't chase. Hear me. Chasing scatters you. Positioning gathers you. Assigned provision finds aligned people. Stop looking for a job. does not mean sit still in fear. It means stop striving in fear and start moving by instruction. I may still use a job as a channel, but you will not worship it as the source. You will not throw your soul at every posting like a beggar at a window. You will stand under the fountain, listen, and take the next faithful step I highlight. No more, no less. Obedience often looks like order. Today, make room for money with the way you move. Finish one unfinished task you've been avoiding. Close the loop, clear the clog. Return one call or email you've delayed. Integrity resets circulation. Organize one document, invoice, resume, portfolio, and name it properly. Order attracts order. Remove one distraction. Delete one app. Mute one thread. Unsubscribe from one panic voice. When you simplify, you amplify signal. Heaven's logistics read clarity. Your yes gets louder when clutter gets quieter. Be sensitive. I am not always saying, do more. Sometimes the next instruction is, rest. Sleep like someone kept by covenant and wake up with your mind gathered. Sometimes the next instruction is, forgive. Release the debt you've been carrying so the flow can reach you. Bitterness is a tourniquet around blessing. Sometimes I say, sow. Give encouragement, time, or a specific gift I point to. Seed breaks ceilings. Sometimes I say, apply, but selectively where I point, not everywhere pressure points. Sometimes I say, learn. Watch the tutorial, sharpen the skill, read the chapter. Preparation is also positioning. Do the next step, not the whole staircase. Your miracle moves on increments of obedience. Guard against counterfeit doors. If it costs you peace, dignity, or obedience, it is not provision, it is a trap. If the opportunity demands you lie, hide, rush, or violate what I already told you, that is not me. It's Pharaoh with a fresh coat of paint. If it flatters your fear while taxing your soul, walk away. Real supply arrives with alignment and clean hands. Pressure says, decide now or lose it. Promise says, follow me and keep your peace. You will not mortgage your integrity for a paycheck. You will not trade covenant for clout. Here is how you will move from scattered to gathered. Schedule your obedience. Block time for me first. Place the 3-day declarations at the bookends of your day. In between, take one lead action at a time. Keep a simple list titled Instruction and do what is on it. Nothing added by panic, nothing subtracted by procrastination. If I nudge you to reach out to a specific person, do it. If I say, price your work properly, stop discounting your value. If I say, post the offer, publish it without begging. If I say, wait, then wait with worship, not worry. When you know you're an heir, you don't beg systems, you steward assignments. Heirs don't chase, they host. Kings don't run after provision. They command atmosphere and keep position. Say it with me. I refuse the scatter of chasing. I choose the gather of positioning. My job is not my source, God is. I am an heir, and what carries my name will find me where obedience places me. Now I address the root. You have been clocking in for a cruel employer called fear. You believed you must suffer to deserve. You believed provision is permission from a boss who can punish you at any time. You rehearsed, I'm always behind, until your tongue hired delay as your supervisor. You measured your worth by how exhausted you felt at night. You wore struggle like a badge that bought you permission to eat. That is slavery. That is not my kingdom. I did not save you into a system where pain is the price of permission. I saved you into covenant where obedience is the posture of inheritance. Hear me with authority. You are not a beggar in God's economy. You are His heir. Sons don't apply for promises, they inherit them. Daughters don't audition for acceptance, they carry it. Kings don't chase, they command. Priests don't panic, they minister in peace. This is the mind I am installing. I am breaking the whip of prove yourself off your back. I am silencing the overseer that says, work harder and maybe you'll be allowed to breathe. Breathe now, permission granted. Not by performance, by purchase. You were bought with a price. You belong to me. Listen to the transfer of payrolls. Fear pays you with panic. Covenant pays you with peace. Peace is not a luxury. It is currency in my economy. Peace buys you clarity. Peace tunes your ear. Instruction travels on calm. Panic is static. Fear scrambles the signal and then mocks you for missing it. I am restoring your calm so you can hear me clean. That peace will lead you into precise yeses and holy no's. Peace will stop you from discounting what I gave you. Peace will keep you from grabbing at counterfeit doors. Peace will let you sleep while I root supply. Do not despise calm. Spend it. When you spend peace, you purchase precision. Understand what happens when identity shifts. Identity informs decisions. Decisions shape outcomes. When you stop thinking like an employee of fear and start living like an heir of promise, you price your work properly because you're not selling worth. You're serving assignment. You decline pressure disguised as opportunity because you're not thirsty for validation. You're anchored in covenant. You finish what I gave you, not what panic handed you. You sow when I say sow without superstition. You wait when I say wait without apology. Your calendar stops being a cage and becomes a compass. Your no becomes as holy as your yes. Say it now and let it settle in your bones. I resign from fear. I step into sonship. I step into daughterhood. I step into kingship under my king. I do not beg systems. I steward assignments. I do not chase. I host. I do not perform for permission. I move by promise. My name is on provision because my heart is in position. The slavery mindset that kept me poor is broken. I think like an heir. I speak like an heir. I decide like an heir. And as I do, outcomes will follow suit. Peace first. Instruction next. Provision on schedule. Here is what happens next. Over the next days, watch. Expect unusual channels, refunds you didn't request, fees reversed without you arguing, a debt canceled due to review, a contract revived that you had already buried, an invoice paid from months ago with an apology and interest, a gift sent felt led to bless you, a job lead that comes to you without a late-night scroll, a door that opens where you've simply been faithful, not frantic. Help you didn't ask for showing up at your doorstep like manna. Enough for today, enough to breathe, enough to confirm I am not teasing you. He's saying, I am routing what carries your name. Don't chase, receive, keep your peace. This is how you will know it's me. Confirmation will arrive in layers, not pressure. Peace will sit in your chest like weighty light. Timing will align with what I already told you. No contortions, no acrobatics. Scripture you've been declaring will get highlighted again. A message, a sign, a conversation. Repeating the same verse until you smile because you know I'm speaking. People you didn't plot with will echo your instruction word for word. The door will open without strain. You will knock once and it will swing, not creak. Courage and rest will rise together. You will feel bolder and calmer at the same time. That's my fingerprint. Clarity with calm. Favor without flattery. Movement without mania. Discernment guardrails now. Do not confuse temptation with provision. If it requires compromise to cash it, it is not my money. If the opportunity demands you lie, rush, hide, underprice what I told you to honor, or ignore a boundary I already set, that is not me. That is Pharaoh with a polished pitch. If it shames you into a yes, reject it. If it isolates you from wise counsel, decline it. Pressure says, decide now or lose it. Promise says, follow me and keep your peace. Assign every door this test. Does it keep my hands clean? Does it align with what he already said? Does peace increase when I step toward it? If not, walk away. You will not mortgage covenant for convenience. While you wait and as provision approaches, keep your posture. Keep declaring morning and night. Don't downgrade your obedience because the first email arrived. Keep ordering your life. Finish what I highlighted. Answer with honor. Price with integrity. Tidy what you touch. Keep gratitude loud. Thank me for the trickles and the torrents. Keep your instruction list simple and sacred. Do the next lead step, not the 100 fear suggests. Keep your spirit reachable, quick to forgive, quick to listen, slow to scramble. Expect partials that point to totals. A small cancellation today, a larger release tomorrow. Document the mercies. They are breadcrumbs that lead you out of the woods. Now lift your head and set your heart, because I am about to ask you to seal this with your words, publicly, not to impress people, but to witness to covenant. You will write it, you will say it, and you will stand in it. You are not begging the system anymore. You are honoring the source. Prepare your mouth. Prepare your yes. The money already assigned to you is moving, and you will meet it in peace, in alignment, without pressure, without compromise. Now seal it, not later. Now. Covenant is not theory, it's testimony. I am asking you to make this public as a witness to what I have spoken. Type it and settle it. Type, my job is not my source. God is. Type, I will not lack any good thing. Do it in faith, not for applause, but for agreement. When you write it, you are pinning your faith to the wall of time. When you publish it, you are planting a flag in sight of your fear and saying, covenant stands here. Now lift your voice and sign it with your mouth. Slow, steady, with authority. Say, it is written, the young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Psalm 34:10. Again, slower, let your bones hear you. It is written, the young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. One more time, with all of you. It is written, those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Now personalize it 3 times, firm and measured. I seek the Lord. I will not lack any good thing. I seek the Lord. My house will not lack any good thing. I seek the Lord. My assignment will not lack any good thing. Seal it with identity. My job is not my source. God is. My job is not my source. God is. My job is not my source. God is. Now answer me with a vow. Write it and say it. I commit to the 3-day practice, morning and night. No skipping, no bargaining. Again, I commit to the 3-day practice, morning and night. No skipping, no bargaining. One last time, like a signature. I commit to the 3-day practice, morning and night. No skipping, no bargaining. This is how you move from hearing to holding. This is how you tell the earth your coordinates. This is how you authorize what carries your name to find you. Hear the decree and take it as final. When you declare it and obey it, you stop begging the system and start receiving from the source. Your story of lack ends tonight. Overflow begins with obedience. Angels are already moving on orders they recognize. Roots are clearing. Peace is the evidence. Provision is in motion. You will see trickles become streams and streams become rivers, because you stood where I spoke and said what I said. Keep your spirit fed while manifestation catches up. Subscribe now, not for noise, but for nourishment, so this language of covenant stays in your mouth and your faith stays full while I finish the routing. Stay close to the sound that keeps you aligned. Share this with the one whose hope is flickering and whose hands are clean. Save it so your midnight has a map. Write today's date next to your declaration. Speak it before you sleep. Wake and speak it again. I have heard. I have marked it, and I will prove who your source is. It is written. It is sealed. It is done.